Welcome back to another Dead to the World vlog. Like I said, vlog. Because we've been
Welcome
vlogging.
back to another Dead to the World
No,
interview.
let me do it. I
Oh my god.
Welcome back to another Dead to the World interview. Today we got Svdboi with us. What's going on, Svdboi?
What's going on?
Svdboi, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you are,
introduce
who is
yourself.
Svdboi,
How old
Like,
are you? Where
yeah.
you from?
what's your social security number?
I can't give that out, bro. I can't give that out. But I'm 20 years old, Bradenton artist. Hopefully soon a Tampa artist, or like literally an international artist or some shit. I just make like hella chill music, and if you haven't heard it, you probably should. I think.
Gang.
Gang.
So, like, first tell us, like, what got you started in the music?
I was always kind of into music. Like, when I was in, I went to Catholic school when I was younger, and like, I wanted to just play music. Like, I had a guitar from my cousin gave me, and I just wanted to like play the guitar. I wanted to be like a fucking like metalhead.
Yeah.
And so it started off playing guitar, and then kind of learned a little bit of drums, and then earlier this year I started picking up bass and started implementing that into my like production.
So were you a producer before you were like an artist, songwriter?
For sure. Yeah, I was. My dad got me a version of like Cubase LE, like 5, I think it was, back in like 2015, and I started there because I wanted to like. I was hella emo at the time. I had like the whole side fringe and everything, big juicy blackmail pictures.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I started doing that, and then basically stemmed from there. After metal kind of fused out of my life, like rap started to kind of become more of like something that I was interested in. I try to keep my shit a little bit interesting, like a little bit, maybe not so much like bangers, but you know, songs that you can just vibe to and kind of just ride with your friends.
Do you have certain songs that are bangers and certain songs that are a little less, like, and then most of your songs are kind of shit that you can ride to, though?
Yeah, so like I have obviously like out of all my songs, like Nauseous, I feel like is my banger. I've got a song
Stream it, Nauseous.
Hell yeah. And then I've got like a new project that I'm working on, which is gonna be my banger called Basket Case.
What's it called? Basket Case?
Basket Case.
When's that coming
I like
out?
that title.
I'm gonna try to get that out by November. So just to put something out there ready for the album, which no release date, like January, maybe New Year's or some shit like that.
I've been seeing that you've been working a lot on this album. It's been taking a while. Like, so tell us about like your album process and like what you've been putting into this album.
So a lot of it has been trying to clean up like old files, because there were a lot of old projects on my last laptop that I couldn't retrieve.
Yeah.
So like remaking like Nauseous was not even gonna sound like how it did today, but I had one of my buddies work on it and kind of play around with all the melodies and like the kind of general flow of it.
Yeah.
And most of it is just re-recording old shit that I lost. Which
Did you produce everything on the project?
No, actually, my producer Flint Withers, I'm gonna give him a shout out.
Shout out Flint Withers.
Shout out Flint Withers. He's my fucking boy. Met him in high school, and he's just a phenomenal producer, man. Like, honestly, one of the hardest working and like talented people I know. Just absolute like ray of light. I don't know. He's completely different. He actually just dropped the song Past Tense. You guys should go stream that.
Past Tense.
Shout out everything. Shout out everything. But yeah, he did most of the production on that
Are you still
album.
hands on with it though?
Yeah. I always start a project and then I send it to him and see what he thinks of it. If he likes it, he'll play with it, and if he's like, nah, this isn't really my thing, like he'll send it back to me.
What's your process as a producer and songwriter and lyricist? Like, what do you start out with?
Definitely start out with a solid beat, just at least something to get like my hands on, like start writing.
So you start out with the beat for sure, all the time.
sure.
But what about the beat? You start out with the melody. You start out with the drums.
Could be either. I mean, most of the time I go melody. Like I'll pick up a guitar. Or, like I'm working on a song right now where I picked up my bass and started with the bass line.
So do you
Just,
do a lot of melodies like that, like from scratch? Like you don't sample a lot, you do a lot.
Yeah, no, I try to do everything original.
Okay, that's cool.
That's really
I'm not-
good. That's
I'm
really
not
good.
Not up there where I can pay those copyright fees
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, for
Man,
sure.
some of those are crazy. For
And those
sure.
loops get really annoying too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I can't
like
find good loops.
in your music, I've noticed that you like to keep it interesting, like as the song goes on. So like, tell us about like how do you come up with some of those ideas, just like as the song comes on and like put in different little things.
Most of my lyrics are what I'm usually going through at the time. So, unless I like nauseous is just one of those ones. It's
Yeah.
like I just was kind of going ham.
You always
But-
need those songs.
Yeah.
Always. There's always an audience for it.
Yeah.
But as far as like most of my music, like it's normally about what's going on in my life, like the issues that I'm facing at that time, that like, you know, are affecting me at that time, and then like you'll hear some like personal bars on there, like on Eulogy. There's a whole second verse just about my relationship with my mom. Which
That
is,
song's out right now.
it is not. It'll be on the album.
Okay.
I might release it as a single, maybe not. We'll see.
It's so
I'll
hard to
tease
pick a
everybody
single
with it.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I have so many favorites.
Yeah,
It's
for sure. It's
definitely
hard.
difficult.
It's hard.
Who's your favorite local artist?
Yeah.
Favorite local artist.
Or your top 5?
I have to. I mean, he's not local anymore. He actually just went to fucking college, but definitely Flint. Like he's super talented, especially with production and engineering. KayGee and Lil Cross.
KayGee.
You guys are fucking raw.
Appreciate that.
Big Racks, Pockets Fat, Rick Ross.
Yo, I just had KayGee in here today doing some wild ass shit.
He's a
KayGee
crazy
is
freestyler.
unstoppable, man.
Then
He's unstoppable.
I gotta put. I think Check the Star. I like him.
Oh yeah.
I listen to a lot of him. I haven't really linked up with him yet, but it's gonna happen soon.
He's like Tampa, ain't
Yeah, he is. And then I gotta put Savannah in there as well. This is not like
he? Shout out
chronological,
Savannah
but
Rose.
Yeah,
shout out
Sav-
Savannah because
Savannah Rose for sure. She's very talented.
hella talented.
If you haven't watched the Savannah Rose interview, go check that out right now.
Yes,
The interview
sir.
for this one. Check that out right after you watch this one. And after you watch that one, go check out the Shoot the Shooter interview. And then just keep going through our interviews and our vlogs and our music videos. Please. Thank you. All right. So who's like your musical influences that like you draw from?
I think a lot of it comes from like I like Jaden's like kind of like it's almost a like new wave, like it's a
Yeah.
whole like new trippy wave, and I definitely love that because I'm all about them psychedelics, baby.
Yeah, there's a big wave of psychedelic music coming back, and it's like I love that it's coming back because it's so amazing.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like as you progress as an artist, you're gonna keep making more psychedelic music than anything else?
I mean, it's hard to put a cap on it. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm always my influences are always growing, so it's hard to say like what my music would sound like in like 10 years. Like I could be doing rock music, I could be doing indie, I could just completely drop it. But you know,
Yeah.
as far as right now, like I love doing this kind of like light, like these light melodies with more like lyricism on top of them.
Yeah, for sure. So you were talking about how your lyrics come from a very deep place and like your emotions that you're feeling at that time. How do you feel that like has that helped your mental health a lot? Like pushing forward, like has that been like an outlet for you to express your mental health and get through the things you've been getting through?
Definitely use my lyrics as an outlet for my own like mental health. Because honestly, like as a you know, everybody's human, and like at a certain point, like there's just stuff that I don't really want to put out into the world. Like I don't want to talk about openly, but there is stuff that I can write about.
Yeah.
And like
Sure.
it makes it personal for me, and by putting it in there and making it something that I'm proud of, it makes it a lot easier to be okay with those facts. Like to be okay with like
And oftentimes when
what's
you
going on.
write about it, like it helps you get a better understanding of it for yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because a lot of
Exactly.
problems, it's hard to like separate yourself. You know what I mean? And look at it from a different perspective because everything's biased. Everything.
Yeah. It's I mean it's definitely important to put things into that like neutral aspect of like, okay, here's what's actually going on. Like,
Yeah,
let me
for
not
sure.
trip about this.
For sure.
Let's just sit
Yeah,
down
I
and
find
think
a
about
lot
it.
of times like I'll write some shit and then I'll go back and listen to it and I didn't even know that I felt that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like it just comes out of you
And
sometimes.
it's just kind of like a puzzle you're putting together to figure out your own mind, and I think that's great. That helps pretty much every artist. I mean that I know. Like for me, for Cross, for Svdboi, for pretty much everybody I know. It's a big outlet. So we talk about mental health on this podcast too. We talked about it with Savannah. So another thing, like once you're famous and you have the platform and like, you know, like the money and the power to like help people and do what you want with that, like what's a cause or like something that you really want to help in the world, like with your platform?
World Wildlife Fund is the wave.
For sure.
There's a lot going on in the environment right now. Like a lot of CO2 is, you know, being released. A lot of methane. Definitely leaving a heavy carbon footprint on the world. That's definitely not going to come back anytime soon. Like it takes years and years. But I mean, like that's just saving like other lives. Like I don't know. I feel like humans are just kind of like a parasite, to be honest.
In
to
some
be
ways,
quite
for
frank.
sure. In some ways, for sure. And
There's a lot of humans worried about other humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good to have people that care about other living creatures as well.
For sure. For sure.
Definitely.
So on that, once you're famous, like who's like your top artist that you want to work with and like you'd like to make a song with or work on a project with?
That's good. Amine.
Amine, that
like
dude's really good.
love him. So raw, dude.
Yeah.
Those flows are so raw, and
You
like,
like his new album?
oh my god, bro.
You think it's his
Yeah.
best project?
I don't think I still think 1.5 was
Really?
like the that's always gonna be the one where like I started out at.
Right. Yeah.
But Amine, like Jaden, Tyler, Trippy, fuck, who are some others? Like I don't even know. JID, anybody from
He's
Dreamville.
raw.
JID is like one of my favorite lyricists. Corday, if I could. I don't know if I'd be able to keep up though. He's super raw.
What's a dead artist that you'd like to bring back to life to do a project with? Like your dream dead artist?
It's a morbid question.
Oh fuck.
From any time, like it could be Michael Jackson, or it could be Elvis, or it could be Juice WRLD.
I think it'd be Juice, man.
Yeah.
I think I didn't mention it earlier, but like I think a lot of inspiration also comes from Juice. Like especially when it comes to being more comfortable about like my like I don't freestyle and like being more comfortable with that. Like I don't know, something about his flows like made it easy to like click. Like watching him, watching that hour.
He is
Man,
crazy.
there's videos
bro.
of him. He just be freestyling in the car at the hotel, like all day. He just doesn't
Right.
stop.
And then you hear the stories about songs like, oh, he one takes that whole entire
Yeah.
song. Like,
No,
Nice.
bro. There's stories where he'll have the beat and then he'll keep rapping for like 3 minutes after the beat, and he'll just be like, put that part on the beat. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I heard something on the album like during one of the interludes of him doing like 2 to 3 songs like all on the same beat and each
Yeah,
one is just a hit. Like,
Yeah,
and
that's why there's so many
it's
leaks and so
crazy.
many
Yeah.
different versions of the same song.
exactly.
yeah. He has hundreds of unreleased songs just everywhere. Like
Oh,
he
we're-
probably has some of the most unreleased songs out of any
I
artist.
hope we get Juice albums from years. And the day it stops, man, it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be
It's
tough,
Sunday.
but how do you feel about record labels taking advantage of the money after they've passed away? Because a lot of those albums are work that they like with like the new X album, like it was good,
It's
but like
unfinished.
yeah,
it's very
it was
clear to
yeah.
tell what's
And the thing is,
unfinished
like
and what's
he didn't
not.
want to put, he would definitely didn't want to put that
Like
out.
rappers
And-
that he had never
Exactly.
worked with before, had
Or
never
like-
even met.
Or like the other day, they were talking about how they're gonna put out an X and Juice WRLD song. X and Juice WRLD never recorded together, so like, how much of that is the
Yeah.
record label trying to make money, and how much of that is appealing to fans? Because that's definitely over 1 billion streams.
Juice was signed to Atlantic, right?
Yeah, I think so. He was signed to one of
Whatever Bibby
Universal.
was under.
Yeah, Juice was A1 Records, and then that was under one of Universal's record labels, so maybe Atlantic. Probably Atlantic. So, but the thing is, like, so that's the record label trying to, you know, make money off of it, because they know that's going to be 1 billion streams. X and Juice, that's
Right.
two of the most iconic artists of this era, if not all time, you know what I'm saying?
I think the money should definitely be going to the families,
For
especially.
sure. Well, why don't they
especially-
just release it
and
for
like,
free? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and that's also another thing.
Or
Is
go to
like
charity or
you
something.
could donate to literally anything. You know, all that money could go towards a Jase Envoy fund or.
And I
Or,
think
you
a lot
know.
of it. I think a lot of it does. But the record label's still gonna make a lot of money at the end of the day, and you just gotta think about when they were alive. Did they want to release that song? You know what I say?
Right.
Did they want
Yeah,
them
there's
to?
also
Like,
the
think about you were
parents.
telling us earlier. You had all those files on your old computer. Like, if you die right now and someone was like, "Man, we need more Sad Boy music. Let's look at
They
his
took
old
that
computer
one song
and take that one
and
song."
took some
You know what I'm
artists
saying?
that
I got some
And
real
yeah,
bad
I
like
ones.
do.
film on it.
You know
Cool,
what I'm saying?
I got some real bad ones. I had a song from 2014, completely acoustic.
I feel
I
that for sure.
don't even need to remember that one.
God.
It's just hundreds of unfinished songs on my computers for sure.
Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to let the people know now that the camera's on?
Yeah, next album. Do you have a title for it yet?
I think it's just gonna be a self-title off the single for Nauseous, so it'll be titled Nauseous. It'll be like probably a 10-song EP. I'm just really working on kind of clarifying everything and making everything sound like the absolute best that it can, because I don't want to put anything out that's a little tough to listen to. So cleaning
For sure.
everything up, just kind of in the final processes. I'm ready for distribution. So
How do you feel about releasing albums versus just singles? Because like a lot of artists, like I know myself, like I'd love to just release an album and wait and release another album, but for marketing, it doesn't really help you that much. That
Especially
yeah,
at such a local level, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
It's kind of like discouraging because it's not going to get as much shine as
you don't
the
have
single
like
would.
millions of fans waiting for the album.
Right.
But like at the same time, like putting together a masterpiece album or just like an album you really enjoy to make and you enjoy listening to the music and thinking back on those moments, like it's such a beautiful thing. So like, how do you feel about like, does it hurt you to like put out singles and not put out an album, or do you just like, are you an album artist, or basically what I'm trying to say, are you an album artist or are you a singles artist, and like why?
So, as far as like my whole thought process, as far as like putting out an album and then singles and all of that, like I want to start with like an album to kind of secure my fan base, to give like if there are people who are gonna listen to my music, I can drop singles later on.
Yeah.
Like I'm so young,
Yeah,
I'm 20 years old, like I'm so young, but like I have time to kind of develop that, and like I would rather give the fans a large selection of music to listen to from the very get-go and then drop singles and kind of
That's a
lure
good
people
point.
in.
yeah,
Kind of it's like fish swimming into a pond or
Yeah.
some shit.
for sure.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know how
smart. That's smart. It's always good to have a good
awkward
base of
dynamics
music
work.
underneath. For sure, for sure. All right, so Sad Boy, shout out your social medias. Announce your album date if you want to. Just announce anything you want to shout out for.
So-
Look in that camera.
At Sad Boy Hours, SVDBOI, don't forget the V. Fucking, that's it.
That's
You can follow me on Twitter too. It's the exact same thing, at SVDBOIHRS.
Are you on all platforms?
I am on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, fucking Groove, Shark if you use that, I think.
Is it the same handle or is it just Sad Boy?
It'll be on streaming platforms. It'll be SVDBOI.
Sad Boy.
Sad Boy.
You heard it here first, bitch.
Thank you, Sad Boy, for your interview, and
Oh yeah, thank you
we'll
guys
just
for
see you
having
do
me.
great big things.
Do you have any other shout outs?
Mm.
You got shows coming up?
There is a show. There's a October 31st Halloween party.
Halloween party. If you're watching this before October 31st, you're in the Sarasota, Bradenton area, you can catch Sad Boy at that show, catch me at that show. You can contact
KayGee.
Dead to the World,
Meek G.
KayGee, Meek G.
Q-Tate.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Contact Dead to the World on Instagram. Contact Ethan Marino on Instagram. Contact Sad Boy on Instagram. We'll get you your tickets, but they're going fast, so get your tickets now. Your story,
Like,
actually.
I did.
Comment,
I posted the whole thing.
Subscribe. If you don't, Ethan's gonna run up in your house at night.
Gumby's gonna kill your children.
Yeah, he's abuses adolescents.
Oh my god.
The title of our